So you know that feeling when you put so much work into making a video and then you publish it and dot nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're shouting into this void and the algorithm keeps changing on you.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So is there a tool that can help us like crack the code and actually get our videos seen?
Well, there might be. That's what we're diving into today.
Awesome. VidIQ.
It's a platform that a lot of people in the YouTube community are using, promising to help creators like us get more views and subscribers, basically help our channel do better.
Yeah, basically improve your whole channel's performance. So I've been checking it out. It looks like it has tons of features like AI that comes up with video ideas for you, competitor analysis, so much stuff. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about the foundation of any good YouTube strategy. Keywords. Yeah, we all know they're important, but what makes a keyword really stand out on YouTube? Like, what makes it a good keyword?
Well, you're right. It's not just about how many people are searching for it. A truly golden keyword is one that has a lot of people looking for it, but not a lot of other creators are making content about it. So it's high viewer demand with low competition.
So kind of like a treasure map.
Exactly. You want to find that X on the map where all the people are searching, but there's not a lot of competition.
I like that.
That's where the VidIQ keyword inspector comes in. It doesn't just give you a list of keywords, it actually analyzes them. How many people are searching, how much competition is there, it even gives the keyword.
So you know what to focus on.
Exactly, it helps you prioritize.
So it's like you have a whole research team working for you, just sifting through all this data. And then they're like, hey, focus on these keywords, this is your best bet.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But let's say you've got those awesome keywords. How do you actually use them to get those viewers, in your titles, in your descriptions?
Yeah, because I've seen some pre-done titles out there.
You and me both. And you're right, just stuffing your title full of keywords, it's not going to cut it. It needs to be interesting, it needs to be clear. It needs to make people actually want to click. Think about it, like a headline in a newspaper, it has to grab your attention, and it has to tell you what the content is actually about. And a mistake I see a lot is people make titles that are just too vague, or they're trying to be too clever, and nobody knows what they're talking about. VidIQ actually has this AI title recommendation feature that analyzes your keywords and creates titles that are good for search, and they're engaging, so people want to click. Well, wait, so the AI is writing titles for you.
It's a pretty cool tool.
That sounds a little too good to be true. It can be really helpful. But I have to admit, sometimes I just get stuck even thinking of a decent title, let alone, one that is going to do well with the algorithms. I'm kind of interested in that. What about descriptions? Because I feel like a lot of times descriptions are kind of like an afterthought. But I know that they're important.
Oh, they're definitely important. They're your opportunity to really expand on your title, give more context, and tell people more about what the video is about. They're important for SEO too, because the algorithm is looking at those keywords in your description to understand what your video is about. And VidIQ has this really cool description generator tool that can help you write really compelling descriptions that are good for SEO, include all those important keywords, and just give people a really clear overview of your video. Okay, so we've got keywords, we've got titles, we've got descriptions. Now let's talk about tags. They seem small, but I know they play a pretty big role in helping you to understand what your video is all about, right?
They absolutely do. Think of them like little signposts. They're pointing the algorithm in the right direction toward your video.
I like that.
So think of them as extra keywords, giving more information about your video. So the more relevant and specific your tags are, the better YouTube's going to understand your content and recommend it to the right people.
Awesome. So, I know that VidIQ has a tag suggestion feature. How do we know if the tags are actually working? Is there a way to track how they're doing?
There is. That's one of the things that I think is so cool about VidIQ. It has this tag ranking feature, and it analyzes how well your tags are performing compared to other people in your niche.
That's awesome.
So you can see which tags are actually helping you get views and which ones you might need to tweak.
So it's not just like throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
No, not at all. You're actually getting data to back it up. You're making smart decisions. Exactly. Data-driven decisions.
I like that. So, we talked about keywords, titles, descriptions, and tags. They all seem pretty important to getting your video seen in the first place. But what about understanding our competition? Can we get a look into what other creators in our niche are doing that's working for them? I'm not talking about like copying them, but learning from their success,
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's not about copying. It's about getting insights and figuring out what's working for your target audience.
Right.
And VidIQ actually lets you do that with their competitor analysis tools.
Okay, I'm a little hesitant about this whole competitor analysis.
Are you? I get it.
It feels a little, nosy. Yeah, like I'm spying on people.
Okay, well, think of it as research, Instead of starting from scratch, you're learning from what's already working. Like VidIQ has this channel audit tool, and you can compare your channel to your competitors.
Oh, wow.
You can see what their best performing videos are, what tags they're using, how often they're posting. It gives you a benchmark, like what to aim for, and it can help you see where you might be falling behind.
So it's not really spying, it's more like getting a lay of the land.
Exactly. It's getting a sense of what's going on, seeing what's working.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah. What about like individual videos? Can you see how your videos are doing compared to your competitors?
Absolutely. Yeah, VidIQ has this video scorecard. It breaks down specific videos. It looks at the SEO, how well it's engaging people in the reach.
Oh, wow.
It can really help you zero in on what's working in that video, where you might need to make some improvements. Like maybe your competitor's video is getting way more views because their thumbnail is just awesome, or their tags are spot on. It's all about learning and adapting.
Okay, so much good stuff here. We've talked about keywords, titles, descriptions, tags, even competitor analysis. But you know what a lot of us YouTubers struggle with?
What's that?
Creative block. We all hit that wall sometimes where it's like, I have no ideas. What does VidIQ do to help us with that?
Well, VidIQ has this daily ideas feature, and it's specifically designed to spark creativity. It analyzes trending topics, popular videos in your niche, even suggests ideas based on what you're already creating.
So it's like having a brainstorming partner who's always on, scouring the internet for ideas.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having another person in the room with you.
Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Is there a risk of, using the AI too much and losing your own voice, your own creativity?
That's a really good point. It's definitely important to remember that it's a tool, not a replacement for your own ideas. The AI is there to give you a starting point to get you thinking, but you still have to bring your unique perspective and your own personality. It's about finding that balance, using the data but still staying true to who you are as a creator.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about something that I think gets overlooked a lot.
What's that? Thumbnails. Those little tiny images that are the first thing people see. I mean, it's like judging a book by its cover.
It totally is. Thumbnails are so important to get people to click. A good thumbnail, it's the difference between someone watching your video and just scrolling right past it.
I've heard people say that changing their thumbnail, completely changed how well their video did. Is that right?
Oh yeah, I've seen it too. I mean, your thumbnail, it's like a mini marketing campaign for your video. It's gotta grab their attention, tell them what it's about, make them wanna click.
So how does VidIQ help with this? How does it help you make thumbnails that actually get people to watch your video?
It has this really cool thumbnail preview tool, and it shows you how your thumbnail compares to others. It looks at things like colors, contrast, text. It even looks at facial expressions to help you make the best thumbnail possible. It also gives you tips for optimizing your click-through rate based on what's worked for other videos. So you're learning from what's already working.
That's something I struggle with is the text on the thumbnail. It's either too small or it's just too busy. I can never get it right. It's a delicate balance. Okay, so we've talked about so much. Keywords, titles, descriptions, tags, competitor analysis, how to come up with ideas and thumbnails. And we're just scratching the surface here with VidIQ, right?
Yeah, we are. We focused on some of the core features, the things that are going to help you get your videos found and get people interested. But VidIQ has way more to offer. It's got a whole suite of tools and insights to help you optimize your channel for growth.
I'm excited to hear more. Okay, so we've covered a ton with VidIQ.
Yeah, we have, but I'm ready to go even deeper.
What else does this platform have to offer? Well, we talked a lot about how to get your videos seen, but what happens when people actually click on your video? That's where it's really important to understand your audience and what they're doing. VidIQ goes beyond just basic demographics, like who are these people, how old are they? It actually gives you insight into how they watch YouTube.
Wait, hold on. So you're saying VidIQ can tell me what other videos my viewers are watching? That's kind of creepy, but that is pretty powerful. It's like YouTube mind reading.
It's not mind reading, but it is incredibly valuable. Imagine, you find out that a bunch of your viewers are also watching videos about home decor, even though your channel is all about cooking.
Right, that could open up a whole new world for you.
Ideas for new videos, maybe collaborations.
Yeah, or even just understanding what else are they into. So you're not just thinking about what they came to your channel for, but what else they might be interested in.
Exactly, okay, that's really cool. But with all this data, how do we know where to even begin? Does VidIQ help you make sense of it all and put it into action?
It does. That's where those personalized recommendations come in. VidIQ analyzes all this data about your channel, your goals, your audience, and suggests things you can actually do. It's like having a little YouTube coach right there in your pocket telling you, hey, you should try this title, or maybe tweak those tags, or maybe your content strategy needs to shift a little bit.
Okay, some coaching is always welcome, especially with YouTube always changing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And speaking of change, let's talk trends.
It feels like to do well on YouTube, you gotta stay ahead of the trends. But how do you even keep up with what's hot and what's not?
Well, VidIQ Pro has this feature called Trend Alerts, and it's kind of like a crystal ball. It uses these algorithms to find trends that are coming up in your niche before they get super big. So you can get a head start and maybe even ride that wave of interest.
Okay, so let's say I get a trend alert. It's about some new challenge or some meme that's starting to get popular. How do I use that without just being a copycat and doing the same thing everyone else is doing?
It's not about just blindly following every trend. It's about finding that connection between the trend and your own unique style. Like, let's say you're a comedy channel, and the trend is reacting to funny animal videos. Well, you can put your own spin on it. Add your own jokes, maybe do some skits, voiceovers that are in line with your sense of humor.
So you're using the trend as like a jumping off point.
Exactly. It's a starting point for your own creativity, not letting it dictate your whole channel.
Okay, trends come and go so fast. How do you know which trends are worth spending time on?
That's the really cool thing about VidIQ's trend alerts. It doesn't just tell you what's trending, it gives you information about how fast the trend is growing, how much engagement is it getting, is it a real trend or is it just a fad, so you can make an informed decision. You're not just chasing something that's going to disappear tomorrow.
Right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so we've talked a lot about data, and there's this feature in VidIQ that I'm really curious about.
What's that?
A/B testing.
It sounds very like marketing textbook to me.
It is, but it's super helpful.
How does that even work on YouTube?
Okay, so let's say you're not sure which thumbnail is better.
Right.
It's like you have your own little focus group. With VidIQ, you can create 2 different versions, run a test, and see which one actually performs better with viewers. Or what title is going to get more clicks.
But isn't that really time-consuming to set all that up?
You can test thumbnails, titles, even descriptions, and it keeps track of all the data for you. It can seem that way, but VidIQ makes it super easy.
So you don't have to manually keep track?
No, it does it all for you and tells you what's working best.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It's really great for fine-tuning your content and figuring out what your audience really responds to.
Okay, so beyond just the basics, can you A/B test different intros?
You can.
Different calls to action?
Even editing styles.
Yeah, you definitely can.
So it's all about just learning and making small changes as you go based on actual data, not just what you think is working. The possibilities are endless, really. See if a different call to action gets more subscribers. Maybe a shorter intro versus a longer intro. I've seen people test all sorts of things.
It's like taking a data-driven approach, and it takes some of the pressure off too, right?
It does.
Because you don't have to get it perfect the first time.
Exactly, you can kind of experiment and see what works.
Okay, so
All of this is super helpful. But how does VidIQ help manage the more day-to-day stuff of having a YouTube channel? Like the scheduling, the uploading, keeping everything organized.
Yeah, that's where the channel management tools come in. VidIQ Pro has a whole bunch of features to help you streamline your workflow and save time. So you can edit descriptions and tags for multiple videos at once, schedule uploads ahead of time. You can even work with other people if you have a team.
So, it's like having an assistant for your YouTube channel.
Kind of, yeah. Takes a lot of those tedious tasks off your plate.
That's super appealing, especially if you're juggling multiple videos and deadlines.
Exactly. That way you can focus more on the creative side, making great content.
Speaking of creating great content, let's talk hashtags, because they can be kind of a mystery to me. Are they even important on YouTube? And how does VidIQ help you use them the right way?
So, hashtags are definitely important for getting your videos discovered on YouTube. They help categorize your content so people can find it more easily when they're looking for specific topics. VidIQ Pro has this hashtag research tool. It analyzes how different hashtags in your niche are performing, tells you what's trending, even suggests hashtags you should use in your descriptions.
So it's not just about using whatever hashtags come to mind. It's about being more strategic.
Right, you want to use hashtags that are actually going to help people find your videos.
So with all these awesome features, is VidIQ only for like big YouTubers with big budgets?
That's a common misconception. VidIQ Pro, it does cost money, but it's a pretty reasonable investment considering what you get.
Yeah, think of it this way. Even if you get just a small increase in views or subscribers, that could mean more money for you, more brand deals, more success overall.
So it's an investment in your channel, not just an expense. And, even a smaller channel can benefit from all the insights and the tools that it has.
Even if you're just starting out, having all that data can give you a huge advantage and help you avoid making mistakes that could cost you time and money down the road.
It's like you have a map to success.
Yeah, exactly, instead of just wandering around lost.
Okay, so I'm really liking what I'm hearing about VidIQ Pro, but before we finish up this part of our deep dive, what would you say to someone who's thinking about getting it but they're not sure?
For me, it's those personalized recommendations, like having access to all that data and those suggestions that are just for my channel, my goals. It's super valuable. Like I don't have to guess anymore. It gives me the confidence to try new things that I know are going to make a difference.
It's like having your own YouTube guru guiding you along the way.
Exactly. You can't really put a price on that.
Well said. Okay, we've covered so much. Audience insights, trend alerts, A/B testing, how to manage your channel, but we're not done yet. There's still more to explore with VidIQ. So in part 3, we're going to look at some even more advanced strategies and some realistic examples of how other YouTubers are using VidIQ Pro to see some amazing results.
Now I want to see, how does it actually work in the real world?
Right, let's talk about how creators are using this to see real results. Well, one that comes to mind is this gaming creator who was having a tough time, getting noticed.
I can imagine. Gaming is so competitive on YouTube.
Oh, it is. It's packed. So many creators, this person, they were putting in the work, but the channel just wasn't growing.
What did they do to change that?
Well, they decided to try VidIQ Pro and they started using the keyword inspector to find keywords that people were searching for, but there wasn't a lot of competition.
So it's not just about making videos on the most popular games. It's about finding those little niches where you can really stand out.
It's about finding those hidden gems, those keywords that other people aren't really focusing on. They also started using those competitor analysis tools to look at what other successful gaming channels were doing, not to copy them, but to learn, to see what tags are they using, what kind of videos are they making, how often are they posting, and get some ideas.
Exactly, it's like getting a sneak peek behind the scenes to see what's actually working. So this creator, they also focused on their thumbnails.
Oh yeah, using that thumbnail preview tool. They started testing out different designs, different colors, different fonts, trying to figure out what their audience really liked.
And they found out that even small things, like adding a border around the image or changing the font, could make a big difference in how many people clicked on their videos.
That's amazing how those little things can have such a big impact.
They really do. What happened with this creator? Did their channel actually grow? Did they see a big increase in their views and subscribers?
Yeah, and their videos started ranking higher in search. They were finally reaching the people they wanted to reach.
I love that. It shows that, with the right tools and by using data, you can really grow.
Definitely, even when there's a ton of competition.
Yeah, it's possible for sure. Okay, so that's just one example. I'm curious to hear more.
Okay, well, here's another one. This beauty vlogger, she was already doing pretty well, but she wanted to take her channel to that next level.
I think that's something that a lot of creators want.
Oh yeah, you build that foundation, but then you're like, okay, how do I really get those big wins?
Right, exactly.
Well, she started using the trend alerts in VidIQ Pro to stay ahead of the game. So instead of just reacting to a trend after everyone else was doing it, she was getting a heads up.
So smart.
So she could create content that felt fresh and relevant and people really wanted to watch.
But how do you make sure that your videos stand out when everyone's jumping on the same trend?
That's a good question. She was really good at putting her own unique twist on things. So she would incorporate her own personality, her style, her expertise. So even though she was using a trending topic, her videos still felt original and authentic to her brand.
So it's about finding that balance between being relevant, but also staying true to yourself.
Exactly.
I like that.
She was also using the A/B testing feature to experiment with different types of videos, titles, and thumbnails. She found that by testing things out and making small tweaks, she could create videos that her audience really loved and got a lot of engagement. And her channel just blew up. She was getting more views, more subscribers. She even started getting brand deals because her channel was doing so well.
That's amazing. So both of these stories really show how powerful it can be to make decisions based on data.
Oh, definitely, especially on YouTube. It can be so confusing, so many things going on, but with the right tools and the willingness to learn and to use that data, you can not only keep up, but you can really succeed.
Totally. So as we wrap up our deep dive on VidIQ, I want to leave our listeners with this.
Okay.
YouTube is always changing, the algorithm changes, trends come and go.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
But with the right tools, the right mindset, and using data to help you make decisions, you can not only survive, but thrive on YouTube.
Totally agree. And whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this for a while, VidIQ Pro can really help you reach your goals. It's like having a roadmap to success.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. So yeah, go out there, experiment, create, and don't be afraid to use data to guide you along the way. You can sign up at https://www.vidiq.com/apowerplay. That's it for our VidIQ deep dive. We hope you learned a lot, and we'll see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe.